Everybody, so Coach Greg Doucette, has compared NMN, that's nicotinamide mononucleotide, can't say the word, to the PPAR gamma agonist cardarine in terms of efficacy when it comes to increasing your cardiovascular output. And I want to make a quick video on this. I've done an Instagram post already. If you want to read that, you can go to my bio down there and you can check out my Instagram page. Now, before we continue, I'm not in any way a doctor. I don't have any medical training, so take all this with a grain of salt and always do your own research. And for any issues you may have, always refer to your healthcare practitioner. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So, Coach Greg has been selling VO2 Max, which essentially is a mono-ingredient NMN. NMN is a supplement that increases NAD+ within your body, and NAD+ has been shown through quite a lot of different clinical trials now to increase your cardiovascular output, as well as play a fairly large role when it comes to your energy production and your basically potential longevity. NAD+ plays a fairly important role when it comes to telomere unraveling. Telomere unraveling is a pretty integral part when it comes to longevity and age-related decline. There's a lot of different things being researched to potentially prevent this, and that's going to be an important point for later as to why it's being banned, but I'll get to that in a second. So Greg has been on a bit of a PR rampage over the last several months around VO2 Max, or this NMN, basically showing how him on his bike, it improves his time by a couple of seconds, and how it's the next big thing. It's essentially creatine, but for endurance athletes, and how it's basically going to change the game in that regard. He's been pretty forceful on this point, really driving it home time and time again. And I want to say basically that he's wrong. NMN isn't all that. There are plenty of studies out there, and I will link some below, one in particular, where it shows that taking NMN orally doesn't produce supraphysiological levels of NAD+ within your body. However, intravenous application does. There is no point in taking NMN to increase your NAD levels against other supplements like niacin or niacinamide. Those two supplements will also increase NAD+ without the crazy high price tag, but will also increase it better than nicotinamide, NMN, which is what Coach Greg has in the supplement. You can buy B6 super cheap, really cheap, get a gram of that inside of you and you get the same sort of effect, if not better. The only argument which I could see for using niacinamide over niacin is to prevent flushing and potentially have effect on your insulin resistance levels. Mumbling. I do know guys who do that, however, it's not necessary. Obviously, B6 niacin is going to be cheaper on your wallet, and if you can deal with the flushes and that sort of like whoa feeling, then just stick with B6. That's what I have, and it does wonders for me. My endurance levels are good. Having taken both niacin and niacinamide and NMN and cardarine, I can quite confidently say that cardarine smashes both of them out of the water. That's both forms of cardarine, so 0714 I think it is, and 501516. Both of those. Both forms of cardarine absolutely smash the NAD+ products out of the water. That's not to say they don't do something, they definitely do help, but they're not in the same levels of efficacy as cardarine. Cardarine obviously has a lot of other roles in the body. The PPAR gamma activation does a lot of other things, and PPAR delta, I think. These receptors do more than just increase your energy metabolism. They also play a role with your cholesterol and your metabolic health. NAD doesn't do that. To some degree, it will help your metabolic health, but it definitely won't play a role with your cholesterol the same way cardarine does. I know there's fears around cardarine when it comes to cancer. However, I think those rumors are extremely overblown. And I know we're getting into cardarine a bit deep here, but that's what I just want to say. The studies on cardarine were done on Winstar rats, which are heavily prone to cancers and pretty much risk get cancer anyway. Even if you gave them the most healthy diet and they gave them make the most cardiovascularly fit, metabolically fit rats you could, the Winstar rats will still get cancer. And I think it's also quite important to note that cardarine was initially developed as an anti-cancer drug. So saying cardarine causes cancer is a bit of a misnomer, in my opinion. We haven't seen any evidence of cardarine causing cancer in human patients, and it's used quite extensively. So I just wanted to put a nail in that coffin, or at least put my note on it. It's probably not enough evidence for a lot of people, but it's my 2 cents on that topic. Back to NAD. So there's also been a lot of hype generated around NAD from the FDA investigating NAD, Nicotinamide, NNM, in relation to them attempting to ban it. Now, I'm not sure where the ban is currently standing. I know at one point they rescinded their attempts to remove Nicotinamide from the shelves. I don't know if that's still the case. I'll have to double check. But I wanted to elucidate and give a bit more clarity into that whole situation. Essentially, NAD plus increasing agents are being investigated in the pharmaceutical world to help alleviate aging, because that's going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. If a pharmaceutical company can come out and go, hey, give it to Hollywood actors or whatnot, or just market it as a anti-aging drug, it's going to be worth a lot of money. Now, Nicotinamide was investigated and I think developed by a pharmaceutical company. Now, there's some other derivatives of this drug, or supplement, that are currently being developed by pharmaceutical companies. So because there's this link between pharma and this supplement compound, they can submit requests to the FDA to basically withdraw it from market due to conflict of interests around it, basically being able to be labeled as a drug, similar to what happened with NAC. Now, just because this request being placed and the FDA are investigating it, doesn't mean that it's an effective supplement. It just means that the MOA, mechanism of action, is being investigated by pharmaceutical companies, and the compound is close enough to whatever they're looking at that they can submit that request to get taken off the shelves from supplement companies. Now, obviously, the supplement industry is another multi-billion or trillion-dollar industry. So there's quite a lot of incentive for supplement companies to complain and lobby against this, and that has happened. So that's why I don't quite know where it's standing at the moment, because there's a lot of back and forth going on at the time being. Now, just to recap a little bit, just because Nicotinamide is being investigated by the FDA doesn't make it efficacious. NMN, Nicotinamide, does increase NAD. It does increase NAD to the levels which are being marketed. That only happens when you're doing intravenous application of Nicotinamide. If you want a more cost-effective version of Nicotinamide, get Niacinamide to avoid the flushes of vitamin B6 and potentially some of the insulin-resisting effects of niacin at very high doses of around 1 gram. Now, that's not saying it's definitely going to happen to you. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body is going to react differently to every compound. I can go into that in detail in more videos because I don't want to ramble on and go on too many tangents in this video. I just wanted to note that this video isn't supposed to be a takedown video against Greg Doucette. I just wanted to make people aware that VO2 max is just niacinamide, and just because niacinamide is being investigated by the FDA, like Greg is saying, which is true, doesn't make it an effective supplement. It's not a drug. It's just got similar structure to a drug. Now, that's all I really want to say on this topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Pop any questions and I'll do some more videos. Go follow my Instagram. I'm doing posts on this kind of thing fairly often. I did a video on Eddie Hall and cranberry juice and why he drinks 2 liters that a day. I'll probably do a video on it as well in like a longer format because, well, it's better for the YouTube algorithm. In fact, I'm trying to hit 10 minutes. I'm going to talk about other things for a little while. I'm currently doing a coaching rollout for January. I'm increasing my coaching capacity by 10 clients. So if you want to be part of that cohort, submit your email down in my bio. I've got a link to my coaching website, and if you're within a chance to join that cohort, I coach everything from strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, general population, trying to get shredded for beach maybe, or for a particular event in your life, for a photo shoot. I can coach for all applications, including contest prep. Now, 5 places have already been taken. They are spoken for, but there are 5 going in for a lucky dip. I also have a small supplements shop down below, so check that out if you're interested. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoy this content, and see you next time. Peace out.